Hey, what's up guys? Prapreet here. Today, I just want to talk quickly about the camera gear you should think about taking to your India trip. But what I really mean is what camera gear you should never take to India, especially not on the carry-on luggage. Now, I do know that there's no security checking once you're coming from outside, like the United States of America, but if you want to come back, you might face some trouble in the security checking, the Indian TSA, should I say. So first of all, you should never think about taking a drone safely and coming back without any weird or scary stories at all. This isn't going to happen. You're definitely going to face a lot of attention from people around you. Might even get some people pissed off and have them scare you with different stuff like, oh, I'm going to call the cops, or, stuff like that. But what I've realized is if you just get to a point where there's not that many people around and you shoot around there, then it's usually fine. It doesn't give you a problem. Rooftops of different buildings, like your relative's house or the hotel or the place you're staying at, those things really do help out, and shooting from there is like amazing at times because no one's actually watching you. And once the drone goes to a certain height, no one can see it, hear it. So as long as you do get in a nice little place where you're alone and where you know where you're flying, it definitely works out. I do not recommend just going in public and flying the drone. Usually this results to having a lot of attention. Might get some police there as well, depending where you are, and this might get you in a lot of trouble in a lot of different ways. I know there are different drone rules that are regulating in India, but from what I am aware of, most cops will not even know about these drone laws, and being a heavy corruption country, you probably will get a lot of people asking you different sort of questions and trying to get some money out of you. So just be cautious. I wouldn't suggest you take a drone unless you can be super careful and naive about it. The smaller drones, Mavic Mini, Mavic Pro, these kind of drones might actually be fine at times, but if you are intending on flying a Phantom or the bigger Inspire series, then this is definitely for you, and you should definitely think about how you're going to be able to fly this drone without being caught or getting in trouble. I know it's super hard for someone not living in India to get a drone certification from India. So unless you're going there for super long, I do not recommend you getting this. I'm not saying break any laws or anything, but if you're just traveling for like a month, it just might be a better solution for you to not take a drone with yourself and just leave everything behind and just have a nice trip, take some photos, stay on the ground, stay safe, come back in one piece. So coming back to this whole point, you might be able to take the drone to India through your luggage. I do prefer that you take it in the check-in, take out the battery, put it in your carry-on. They probably won't ask any questions. So this is a funny story from my 2017 trip when I went to India. I took my drone, I took my first DJI Mavic, there's only one Pro at the time. I took that to India, I got some really nice shots and everything. I come back to the security and, as every other country I've been to, I've been able to fly with my drone straight in the carry-on luggage. And I thought this wasn't going to be a problem either. I had the propellers on, I had everything on. I even had the extra batteries and the whole set just sitting in my backpack. And once I was going through, they basically asked me to run the backpack through a couple of times. I didn't even take out my drone in the first place. But once they realized there was something in there that was sharp with propellers, they decided to take it out. And me being naive and not knowing about the Indian drone laws, I just spoke up, and when they asked me, what is this thing? And I said, this is a drone. So at that point, I knew that I messed up because they were giving me different looks. However, at the time being, they were saying that this needs to go in the checked luggage. And at that point, I thought, worst come worst, it's $200 to check in another bag. So I'll just check in another bag, and with that bag, I'll send in all of my drone equipment and everything. So I thought that'll be well and set. And then they call in the airlines person to come in and help me put that stuff away, and then get me out of the security clearance, go back and submit all of my stuff that I needed to put in checked in luggage. So at this point, I'm thinking, you know, it's fine, like $200 over $1,000 drone. Definitely the better choice is to check it in, bring all my footage back as well. I did have all my footage backed up, so I always had a backup for my footage. No matter if they took the drone away or not, I would have still had my backup footage from India. So once the airline's employee came in and he started talking to us about what we could do and what we shouldn't do, at a point he starts mentioning that you can't take a drone out of India at all. There's no other way to take a drone out of India. At this point, I'm begging this guy to give me more information, and he's just not giving me anything. So we go out, and then to get out of the whole, after the security, if you want to go back outside into the main airport terminal lounge and all that stuff outside, where you can check in your baggage. At that point, basically, to get out, you would have to go through another security officer, where you would have to tell them the reasoning why you're going out and what's your name, passport number, etc. So once we got to this guy, he goes, what's the reason? And we're like, hey, we have a drone and we need to put it in the checked-in luggage. And he says, well, can you take off the propellers off of it? And I'm like, yeah, we can take it off. And he was like, yeah, just take off the propellers, throw them out here, and you're good to go. So basically we had to throw away the propellers. I even had extra ones that one of the security guard noticed, and he was like, hey, he has another ones. Can you get those to be thrown away as well? So I did lose some propellers. I think it was like $30 to $50 that I lost that day. But at the end of the day, I was able to fly with my drone. So I actually don't know whether you can take the drone without propellers, or whether I should have just said it's a camera accessory and never even mentioned that it's a drone. So it's always a mystery figuring out, what you can take through and what you can't. I've flown several times in the United States, Canada, all throughout Europe, where I just tell them this is a drone and I put it outside of the backpack as well. They don't mention anything. They don't give me any problems at all, and I'm able to get through it pretty nicely. So this is one of the things that I wouldn't take with me again to India, unless I take it in the checked baggage, or have someone who actually has a proper Indian drone certificate, where if I'm flying around them, or give them my drone to fly. So this would probably be a safer and more legal way to do it in India. However, I do think with all the corruption and the cops not knowing much, this wouldn't be a good idea. So to conclude this video up, I don't want to say that you shouldn't never take a drone to India, but also be very careful when you do decide to take a drone to India, because at times you might not think that you'll get that drone back and take it back home. So just to be safe out there, just have a safe journey, and make sure you can come back home safely in one piece. Another couple things that I would suggest you not take on a carry-on baggage, on your carry-on baggage when you're coming back from India, is probably a Gorilla Pod, a tripod that looks kind of scary. I know this. So the Gorilla Pod and the magnetic tripod that I have to vlog and stuff, it does actually look pretty bulky, and it can look pretty scary at times. So just be careful, and that they don't think that it's a weapon or it looks destructive in any manner. So just make sure that your gear is, it looks like camera equipment and not like some weapon. So that's just my couple ideas about what not to take to India, and finding a way back safely home. Don't take any tripods or anything on you in the carry-on. You can put them in the checked-in luggage. That won't be a problem at all. But I know at different places like the Golden Temple, Harmandir Sahib, they won't let you shoot with a stand. So if you have any sort of camera stand, like a tripod, monopod, or even if you're trying to take a long exposure shot, I got shut down a lot of times because I was trying to take some long exposure shots at Darbar Sahib. So this was it. That's all I have to say. If you guys do have any questions about how I was able to manage to take all of my equipment that I mentioned in my last video, do let me know, and Yeah, so if you guys have any questions, do let me know and I'll try to get back to you guys. And if you guys are planning a trip to India, I know the weather's clearing up there, so it'll be a nice time to go to India. So good luck, and I hope you guys well. And if you guys like this video, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. See you guys in the next video.